Hello world, welcome back to Razor RC. I got a chance to run my brand new Tekno MT410 over at the BMX park. Just wanted to share my initial thoughts on how it performed, as well as share some running footage of this truck in action. So a lot of fun. I was glad to be able to get out there at the BMX park before all the kids got there, so I got a chance to run it on some jumps and out there on the dirt. So that was a great time. So first off, here's my MT410. I picked it up from eurorc.com. We got a 5% off coupon code, so definitely go check them out. Definitely also stick in your shipping address to get the full price with shipping and everything, because it will vary depending on where you live, so check them out. And then here's my actual kit. So what we got going on electronics wise is a little DS3235 SG servo. Just a little cheap $35 servo from Amazon. Works pretty well, waterproof. I'm running a full Arma 4S system, so the 4S BLX 120 amp ESC. I think it's 36x60 can motor from the Creighton 4S, as well as the heatsink. Keep things nice and cool. Fits in really well. All the wiring and everything is perfect. Got all that working pretty well. Pinion wise, I was running a 14 tooth Mod 1 pinion. I've actually increased it up to a 15 tooth, and you could probably run even a 16 tooth. This motor ran super cool. You know, it's pretty cold outside, about 55 degrees or so. That's pretty cold for California, so definitely no problems with temps. I think I was getting about 110 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, definitely could gear it up, and even in hot weather I think it would run fine. And then of course Genzace 4S one pouch motor, 5000 milliamp hour battery, so that's working really well. And so here's my actual truck. So I built it completely to kit spec, except for a couple minor changes. Running 40K diff fluid up front, 100K in the center as usual, and 20K in the rear. The manual says put in 100K in the front and 50K in the rear, but that to me just seemed way too high. And running it on the 40K, 20K seems really, really good. Turns really nicely. Also running the rear hub spaced all the way in the back. As you can see, spacers there all the way in the front. You can kind of play with the positioning, but this is what they call the long wheelbase version. Just makes it a little bit easier to control. It's not going to wheelie quite as much, but it's already got a pretty short wheelbase, so I think that just makes it drive a little bit better. So yeah, my thoughts on the truck. This thing is awesome. It drives better than any monster truck I've ever driven in my life, and I've driven almost all of them. So I'm very familiar with, you know, pretty much all the R2R monster trucks out there. This is the first kit that I built that was a monster truck, and true to the Tekno name, it drives amazing. I know people buy Teknos for the durability, but to me, the performance on this thing is unbelievable. I mean, it drives like a race kit. It pretty much is a race kit. It's an ET48, basically bolted onto a short course truck chassis, so it's just got the short wheelbase, but the rest of it is the full ET48, parts, drive shafts, shocks, everything. Shocks are amazing. By far the best shocks on any monster truck I've ever driven. These shocks they tuned them super well. I think they're like 10 hole by 1.3 millimeter hole pistons front and rear, so it lands super plush, doesn't chassis slap a whole lot, but on the other hand it's super smooth over the bumps on flat ground, so it just drives perfectly in all conditions. I'm just amazed how good they are. Another guy, a friend of mine, tried it out, and he noticed how nice and plush the shocks are. Hands down the best shocks on any monster truck I've driven, at least. So jumping and landing was awesome. It's very flat in the air. Obviously it does rotations there very easily. I ended up turning down the brakes. I just left the ESC on the kit settings, which are, I think, punch at like 2 and brakes at like 50%. I'm probably going to drop the brakes down to like 37.5% because the short wheelbase and the big tires, just kind of rotates really easily in the air. On the brakes, it does basically forward nosedive really fast, so turning that down doesn't make it easier to control in the air. On the ground, tons of traction. I'm running the deboots backflips. These are the LP version or low profile version. So these come stock on the Outcast 4S. Tons and tons of traction. I mean, the dirt was perfect out there. It was a little bit damp, so it wasn't all super dusty and loose. And with these tires, it hooked up amazing. Really good traction today. So that was awesome. So it handles really well. It actually turns really well. Stock steering servo I have at the kit setup, which is 3 turns out from full. So that's, I'd say, medium aggressive. You could tighten it down a little bit, maybe another half turn if you got a pretty strong servo. And then if you had a really weak servo, I guess you would have to loosen a little bit. But you know, it's not bad actually. Out of the box, 3 turns out from full in is actually a really good setting. So you could leave it at that. And yeah, it drives awesome. Turns well, tons of traction, super precise as well. I mean, there's like no slop in the steering. You feel one-to-one connected with the vehicle as you're driving it, you know, with your trigger and steering and all that stuff. It goes exactly where you want, super easy to drive. And it is pretty much a stunt truck in the air. Does flips really, really easily. Obviously with more power, it would, you know, rotate even quicker. On the brakes, I think you probably want to play with the brake setting. I think I ran at 50% on the ESC and then another 75% on the radio, so you're really getting like 37.5% at the actual wheels. You just kind of multiply those together. So I'm going to go down to 37.5 on the ESC and just leave the brakes at 100% on the radio, and that'll should give the same effect. This power system is really nice, runs super cool, plenty of power. I don't know what the speed on this thing, I didn't, you know, do any speed runs or anything, but on 14 teeth, I would guess it's probably around mid 40s or so. It's plenty fast. I know a lot of people want to run 6S and stuff. Not a ton of space for, you know, huge motors and stuff. I guess you could rotate the ESC a little bit, get you a few more millimeters, but this power system seems really good. You know, the Tekno stuff is generally made for 4S because all their race trucks are 4S. So I'm not sure how well this will hold up to 6S, but on 4S, it's just amazing. All the parts are really good. Hands down the best handling monster truck I've ever driven, and yeah, I'm really, really impressed. Had a ton of fun, and so anyways, check out this running footage, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Definitely hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons. Look for more videos soon. Thanks for watching. That's nice. Oh, a little too much. It rotates so fast. God. Ooh. Oh. Yeah, a bit much. There. Not vastly finished. Yeah, it's pretty sweet, huh? Kind of like the kaiju body. Very nice. Oh shit. Nice. Ooh. Nice!